Welcome to Season 4 of My Wife the Dietitian, a fun, evidence-based weekly podcast about nutrition and healthy living. On today's show, we're talking about choline, what it is, why you need it, and how to get it. Stay with us for all the details. Enjoying the show? You can help others find it and enjoy it too by giving us a 5-star rating or review. If you feel like reaching out to us with a question or comment, you can send us an email at mywifetherd@gmail.com. And don't forget to visit our website at mywifethedietitian.com, as well as our social media pages. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Enjoy the show. Welcome to My Wife the Dietitian. Hello, Sandra.
Hi, Rob.
How are you?
I'm good. Are we recording?
Yeah.
You didn't really give me much notice.
I did. I said, let's do this.
Yeah, but usually, I don't know.
We were talking already, and I'm like, we should just be recording. And you're like, okay. So I pressed go. Now we're recording.
There's so many times when we're walking around the house and we're talking about something, and I'm like, oh, I wish we should just be recording this right now.
Yeah.
But anyways.
Well, we are.
We're recording now.
Here we are. This is like one of those times that you wished for.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, go. What do you got?
Well, there's an issue with when people used to not have egg yolks. You know, in the 90s, everybody was kind of like, egg yolks were kind of demonized, and the egg white has the protein, and that's what you really need. But you don't need the yolk because it's got cholesterol. It'll affect your cholesterol. And it was really demonized. But it's like, we've talked about eggs before. We had an episode on eggs. We've had a few episodes on eggs.
Mm-hmm.
But we're going to focus on choline, and it's an element or a nutrient in the egg yolk. So, and it's one of the most common and significant sources of choline in the diet if people eat eggs.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's like one of the main places you get choline from is from eggs.
Yes.
From the egg yolk.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Like eat the whole egg. Remember we've talked about.
About what?
What was the title?
Of what?
Of that egg episode.
Oh, gosh. I don't remember. Eggs everywhere or something
No,
like that?
It was something about the whole egg, nothing but the egg.
Oh, right.
The whole. I can't remember now. It'll come to you.
The egg, the whole egg, and nothing but the egg.
Yeah, I think that's...
There we go. It's like the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
That's right. Yeah. So this is a bit of a science.
Do you think other people find this funny, or is it just us?
I don't know.
I think we're pretty funny. I hope other people think so too.
Well, I'm just trying to get the science across and the message.
I know.
And
I just keep I'm just trying to entertain myself here. I got to have some fun too.
I know. You take me on these tangents.
That's why you love me though.
Okay. All right. So
choline.
What is choline? Why do we need it? What foods have it? And can people eat it every day? That's like kind of the question, right? And as I mentioned, like eggs are a big source of choline. But what is choline?
Is it like a vitamin, like a mineral?
Didn't you say it was someone you went to high school with?
I did. I know. Well, that was before we were recording, so I can't say that joke again now because it won't have the same effect. You've already heard it. I got to catch you off guard with those.
Yes. Well, that was funny when I first heard it.
Right? You did laugh. So
I did. Yeah. So in 1998, the Institute of Medicine recognized choline as a required nutrient. That's pretty recent.
A required nutrient.
Yeah, like all the different, vitamin E and B vitamins. And so they're still finding, 1998 is not that long ago.
No, not at all.
So it's really undervalued. I don't think a lot of people talk about it. They don't know about it.
I didn't know about it until we started talking about it.
We've talked about it before.
No, I know, but like years ago when we first talked about choline, I hadn't heard of it before.
Yeah.
So it's not like one of the main kind of ones that everyone hears about.
No, exactly. It's kind of grouped in with the B vitamins. So we actually did an episode, and we'll link these in the show notes. Complex. What was it? B. That was another good.
The complex. I don't know. Something about. I don't know why it's called Well, we discussed that. But it's called complex B vitamins.
Well, it's just like the supplement you get, the stress formulation, the B complex, and anyways, the choline is usually grouped in with the B vitamins when you hear about B vitamins, and choline.
I guess I got to put it somewhere. So,
But it is an essential nutrient, meaning our body makes a little bit, but we do need it in the diet. And it's really essential, especially in pregnancy.
oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It works in combination with folate. And you know how the government started supplementing flour with folic acid to make sure that it would reduce the incidence of neural tube defects in the population. So because if people aren't getting enough folate in their diet, they are at risk for having a baby that doesn't have their spine formed and a neural tube defect.
Wow.
So spina bifida, but also choline is part of that too. So, and they actually, people don't realize, but a prenatal vitamin doesn't have choline in it.
Really?
Yeah. It's too big of a molecule
Okay.
to get it into the prenatal. So most prenatals, like the common ones out there, don't have choline. So that's why we need it in our diet, and we need to eat it every day.
Every day. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And so we'll talk about, what foods have it and where we can get it in our diet. But let's talk a little bit more about what it is and what it does,
Okay.
why we need it.
And is there a recommended amount that we have to get every day?
Yes.
We'll talk about that when we talk about
Well,
food.
we can just say that now.
Okay.
The RDA is 425 for women, 425 milligrams of choline.
Okay.
And in pregnancy, it's 450. So a little bit higher in pregnancy. In men, is 550.
And what would that look like?
So, okay, we'll just jump right to it.
Let's
okay.
just, yeah.
Okay, so one egg gives you 147 milligrams.
Okay.
So if you had 2 eggs a day, that's about 300 milligrams, like round it up a little bit.
Sure. Okay.
So that's why eggs are really good. It's a good way to get your choline. It's also, the yolk also has the lutein for eye health.
For eye health, yeah.
And a good source of vitamin D, which is really hard to get in our diet unless you eat fish. But this is just another reason. So people should definitely listen again to the egg episode that we'll link in the show notes, because we talk all about, different ways to use eggs and the nutrition of the egg. But the choline, there's other ways to get it too, but that's kind of the biggest source, the most common food that people eat. Chicken liver, and beef liver is another common, well, not common. That's why I said it's not common, because I personally, when I'm talking to clients, not a lot of people include organ meats.
Yeah, not usually.
Not that we really hear of, right? It's just, I don't know, unless someone has anemia or their healthcare provider has said, you should include liver or organ meats. That would maybe someone is including those, but in general, people do not eat a lot of organ meats or liver, but that's another good source of choline. Also salmon, cod, chicken. So there's a little bit in those, 71 milligrams kind of thing. So not huge amounts.
Right.
You know what is actually pretty big source? And we did an episode on this. Those little green soybeans.
Oh, edamame?
Yes.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. So half a cup of roasted edamame gives you 107 milligrams.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And broccoli has a little bit, Brussels sprouts, cauliflower, other legumes, half a cup of kidney beans gives you 45 milligrams. So there's a little bit, you can piece together other ways in the diet. But I want to remember we did the nutrigenomics and found out, what nutrients and how our genes work with different nutrients. So with choline, can't remember yours, but mine is elevated risk if I don't get enough choline in my diet. So it's 3 in 5 people have this risk variant, where it's kind of your body requires more choline.
Okay.
So in the report, it says, since you possess one or more of the risk variants, you have a greater risk of choline deficiency if your choline intake is low.
Okay.
So it's important to meet the the adequate intake level of 425 milligrams a day for women and 550 for men. We talked about that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there is an upper tolerable limit with choline. So you probably wouldn't meet it with food, but if you're starting to take a supplement, if you find a supplement of choline and you start taking it, if you're getting more than 3,500, that's upper tolerable limit.
That's too much.
That's too much.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the too much means you could start having symptoms like low blood pressure, diarrhea, nausea, vomiting, sweating. So it's not good to get too much. So it's like with anything else, you don't want a mega dose. You just want the right amount.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to be deficient.
Right.
So the roles it plays in the body, it's so interesting. It's very important. I mentioned how important it is in a prenatal sense, like for women who are thinking of getting pregnant or who are pregnant, partly because it helps with the cell structure. That's why I said this is a sciencey one.
Mm-hmm.
It helps with the cell membrane and the structural integrity of the cells in the body. So choline is part of phosphatidylcholine, which is a phospholipid. And as I mentioned, it provides the structure to the cell membranes and integrity of the cells in the body. So if you're thinking of like with growing a human, like if you're pregnant, you need the resources to build these important structures, right?
Mm-hmm.
And choline is part of that in the phosphatidylcholine.
There you go. Science.
It is sciencey. And then the next part, we've talked about this before when we touched on choline in another episode. I think it was the egg one, but it is part of the neurotransmitter acetylcholine, like a precursor to acetylcholine, which is a neurotransmitter in the brain that helps with cognition. It helps with memory. It helps with muscle movement. And it's part of the vagus nerve and how that works. And remember, we talked about the vagus nerve and how it's like the gut-brain connection.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like a highway, the brain to the gut and the gut to the brain, it goes both ways. Well, choline is part of that. And we need to have enough choline that works properly. And I mentioned the preventing neural tube defects in pregnancy. So it helps with the DNA synthesis, and it works together with vitamin B12 and folate for the cell division and growth. And so that's why it's critical for pregnancy to help prevent neural tube defects.
Okay, there you go. It's all coming together now.
Yeah, and part of it too, like I said, the healthy brain development, so making sure that you have enough like adequate choline in the diet. Also, this is important for you and for other people that just, if you have low choline, it could result in cholesterol and fatty buildup in the liver.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, if you don't have enough choline in your diet, because part of what it helps with is it metabolizes fat and it's the transport, and it basically removes cholesterol from the liver to prevent fatty liver. And so it helps with bile health. So that can prevent gallbladder problems. So it's all related, eh?
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, and part of it is it's lecithin.
Lecithin is what?
The choline in the dietary sources, it's in the form of the phosphatidylcholine that I mentioned, that long word, from lecithin. And that's like an emulsifier. We've talked about lecithin and how it's an emulsifier.
Because lecithin's a supplement too, right? It's like a big fat pill you can take.
Yeah. They've synthesized it and put it into a supplement, but it's naturally in egg yolk.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah. And it's soy lecithin is a food additive that is, widespread in the food supply. And actually that is an additive or a supplemental form of choline so you do get some choline out of soy lecithin that's in foods. Another additive and supplemental way to get choline, it's kind of a different way, but it's through betaine, which is in beets.
Oh, interesting.
So eating beets. So how do you like your beets?
How do you like your beets? That reminds me of a joke.
Okay. What is the joke?
How do you make a banana wrap?
Wow.
You give it a beet.
There we go. Okay, I get it.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, anyway, so how do I like my beets? I like them pickled.
Oh, yes.
That's one
so
of my own.
good.
That's one of my own jokes, by the way.
I like that.
It's called a dad joke. Kids just roll their eyes.
Yep. So do moms.
Yeah, so do mine. Everyone does. Anyway.
Oh, it's good. I'm just joking.
don't care.
It's good.
It's fun.
Yes.
Pickled beets is how I like my beets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So good. And actually, beets are so good with a little bit of vinegar. Like if you have them in a salad, shredded. Mm-hmm. So yeah, beets, it's weird. It's a different way, but it also helps with the choline. And the beet family, like Swiss chard.
So it's in that food?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to eat eggs and beets and edamame.
Exactly.
And big salad.
And if you like liver or chicken, salmon, cod, like other fish.
Okay.
So those are other sources of choline.
But every day.
Yeah. Daily, you have to get enough choline.
Wow. We need another meal in the day to fit all this stuff in.
I know. It's incredible, eh?
Wow.
Well, you're pretty good at it, like in terms of getting everything you need. They did a study. There was 57 participants, and they were on a choline deficit diet. So no choline in the diet.
Mm-hmm.
So the results were 77% of the men developed fatty liver or muscle damage.
Really?
Yeah. 80% of the postmenopausal women developed fatty liver and or muscle damage, and 44% of the premenopausal women developed problems like fatty liver and or muscle damage, and the symptoms disappeared when choline was restored to the diet.
Oh, wow.
So this was an issue, though, thinking back in the 90s when it was like low fat everything, just egg white omelets, no egg yolks. This was the ripple effect and the ramifications of not getting enough choline.
Interesting.
You can get muscle damage. You get like increased risk of fatty liver because your bile isn't working well, because it's getting bile sludge. You're not getting that lecithin, which is the emulsifier naturally in egg yolk that helps the quality of your bile. So it's all related. It's so interesting. The other thing,
I have a question. Or are you finished with this section? Because I have a question.
Okay. Yeah.
I can ask my question?
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to talk about homocysteine though in a minute.
Oh, that's what I wanted to talk about.
Yeah, bull.
Yeah.
Okay.
People stopped eating egg yolks because of the concern of cholesterol.
Right.
So what's the deal with that? Is that not a concern anymore? Or is there still like it's a concern, but it's better to eat it than not eat it? Because I thought they discovered that it wasn't, egg yolks weren't bad after all or something. And so we all started eating them again. Because people will be like, okay, I got to eat choline. I got to eat my egg yolk, but it's bad for me because of the cholesterol. So what do I do? They'll all be confused.
Right. Okay.
Like
so
me.
we did a couple episodes about the fats, grease and oil, that we'll link that in the show notes, and about cholesterol, like eggs, the whole egg, nothing but the egg or whatever.
Right.
And part of it is it's dietary cholesterol does not affect our blood cholesterol too much, right?
Okay.
There's cholesterol in the liver, and that affects our blood cholesterol. And it's what our body makes. It's not what we're eating per se.
I see.
So high sources of cholesterol, like dietary sources of cholesterol, like shrimp or egg yolk, were kind of demonized because they have high cholesterol, and they were making this link to elevating your cholesterol levels. And we know now it was more, there are other factors in the diet that affect cholesterol levels and not necessarily the cholesterol in food.
Okay.
And we know that egg yolks in particular that we're talking about today, they're so rich in so many nutrients.
Mm-hmm.
And choline is a really important nutrient. It's almost a nutrient of concern because a lot of people aren't reaching the 425 milligrams.
Well, yeah, I would think it would be hard to do that every day if you primarily are getting them from eggs.
Yeah.
It's hard to eat like 2 or 3 eggs a day, every day. And like I said, I mean, because that would be one meal for most people. And then, your other meals, you got to get all your other stuff in.
That's right.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but I guess a lot of people eat eggs, so.
Yeah. So like I said, one large egg is 147 milligrams, and we want to reach 425 if you're a woman, 550 if you're a man. Half a cup of soybeans gives you 107 milligrams. Chicken breast, like the size of the palm of your hand, about 85 grams of chicken breast.
Oh, okay. It's in chicken.
72. It's not like the egg yolk. One egg yolk has more.
No, I know, but I'm just thinking of variety. So you're not having to have this big bowl of eggs every day. So you can get it through chicken, soybeans, eggs.
Ground beef.
Oh, okay. Ground beef.
85 grams of ground beef. So the size of the palm of your hand about.
So is
72. Cod. I mentioned fish. You can get it like in salmon and cod, 71. So, it's still a source. And mushrooms, half a cup of shiitake mushrooms cooked is 58. Baked potato. So one large baked potato gives you 57. Wheat germ, 2 tablespoons gives you 51. That's a lot, eh?
That is a lot.
That's
2 tablespoons, yeah.
Because you have wheat germ most mornings in your oatmeal.
I do, yeah.
Half a cup of kidney beans is 45 milligrams. So those are just some ideas of like where, and then the vegetables that I mentioned, like Brussels sprouts, broccoli, cauliflower have a little bit too.
Okay. Yeah. So there is quite a few things there. It's not just eggs. Eggs is just the egg yolk rather is the biggest source.
The whole egg is good,
yeah,
because then you're getting the protein from the egg white. So it's good and actually, if you have your eggs a little undercooked, like dippy eggs or sunny side up, that, some people actually will have that kind of almost a runny egg and then use it as a dressing for their veggies. Like if you have like some veggies or cooked veggies on the side, and then you just, it's kind of like almost a dressing, right? It's like almost a gravy because it's quite, it's
runny.
It's rich though. It's got that fatty mouthfeel, which is delicious. And so there's actually a benefit if you like your eggs a bit runnier. They have the bioavailability of the choline is better. Like your body can actually absorb it better than if it's not that you have to do this. You're still going to get some of the choline in a scrambled egg or in an egg that's like hard boiled, but it's just interesting.
A little bit less if it's cooked fully, or more hard, less runny.
The runny ones are more bioavailable.
Yeah. Oh, interesting.
So the one thing about the homocysteine, have you heard of that? It's an amino acid, but it's one that if it's found in the blood, so people that have higher levels of homocysteine, they have an elevated risk of cardiovascular disease, heart attack, and stroke risk.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's kind of a inflammation marker.
Okay.
In the blood. So the interesting thing about choline, if you have a deficiency of choline, it can result in accumulation of higher homocysteine levels in the blood.
Oh, really?
Yes. So the choline actually helps convert the homocysteine to methionine, which is, it doesn't accumulate in the blood, and the choline helps with that reaction. And because homocysteine could be an indicator of inflammation, that's another way that choline helps. So it's really interesting, eh? So it has helpful functions in our brain with the acetylcholine. It helps with our heart. It actually helps set the heart rate, like our
pulse.
It regulates our heartbeat.
Okay. Really?
So beet, we're talking about beet.
Oh,
Eating beets
interesting.
helps regulate the heartbeat.
Huh.
The choline, the betaine in the beets are really important. It also helps with preventing fatty liver.
Oh, there you go.
And it helps with preventing neural tube defects in pregnancy. So that's a really, really important one. And I do prenatal groups, in-person groups locally. And it's one that I do talk about to try to get eggs if, the moms are nauseous, have morning sickness. It's tricky, but that's one thing that I'm like, try to eat some eggs somehow, right? Even if it's like hard-boiled egg as a snack. It could be scrambled egg, could be omelet, quiche, could be the dippy egg or, any way to get the eggs in.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good way to get the choline because you don't get it in the prenatal supplement. It's not in the supplement. Everybody thinks, I'm taking a prenatal supplement. I'm good.
I'm getting everything I need.
I'm getting everything I need, but you don't get the choline. So like I said, it's pretty important to make sure that you're kind of eating those food sources.
Awesome.
Like, different food sources. The edamame is an easy one, like roasted soybeans, or even just the edamame that you cook, like the frozen.
Mm-hmm.
So half a cup of those are, good source. And the egg, salmon, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, cauliflower, whole grains have some.
So there's quite a few that we can add to our daily menu. Try to include to get our choline.
And wheat germ.
Wheat germ, like
That's
you said.
That's a good one, eh? We did a whole episode on wheat germ. We'll link that in the show notes.
In the snow notes.
There's no snow yet, but we're it's threatening. It's threatening. I think, in a couple of days it might snow here. It is December in Canada, so
it's Christmas.
But it is the wet coast, so we've had a lot of rain.
That's what happens. Yep.
Anyways, so that's a wrap up. What is choline? Why do we need it? What foods have it? Can I eat it every day? Yes, please eat those foods that we talked about. Did you want to, can I quiz you on what foods we talked about?
Sure, if you want.
Okay.
I kind of know them.
Okay, what?
You want them in order?
Sure.
Okay, so eggs.
Yes.
And then those little green things, edamame.
Yes.
And then there was, I think it was chicken and beef.
Yep.
And beets have some.
Yeah, beets have the betaine.
Which kind of helps you get some.
Yes.
Wheat germ.
Yes.
There was something else.
Baked potato.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's kind of surprising. Baked potato.
57.
Oh, and fish.
In one large.
Fish
yeah,
has some.
Fish. Yeah,
okay.
Exactly. And fish, you get your omega-3s. It's an alternative source of protein to red meat if you want to use fish sometimes. Really good for brain health too. But yeah, this choline is, I really think it's an undervalued essential nutrient that people don't know about. They don't talk about. They don't really hear about. And I just wanted to bring it to your attention.
Thank you.
Okay. And others
that.
too. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thanks for explaining all of that and bringing that to our attention. Once again, a little bit of wisdom from my wife, the dietitian.
Our science class today, Rob.
Yeah, science class. If you want more great tips, check out our website. Check out our newsletter, weekly newsletter that's free to join. You can find a link for that on the website. There's also a great blog, all sorts of different articles. You can also ask questions like our listener did today. You can email us your questions and whatever you got on your mind, things you want to know. We're happy to discuss it on an episode here. Because if you have that question, I'm sure other people do too. So you can find our website at mywifethedietitian.com, and our email is mywifetherd@gmail.com. You can also find us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Feel free to reach out to us there as well. And if you like the show, let us know. We'd love hearing your feedback. Rating and reviewing is a great way to give us feedback and also help the show kind of move forward and allow other people to find it as well. So that's super helpful. And sharing with your friends is also super helpful and helps us get some more listeners here and helps your friend find a great new show. So if you can do that for us, that would be amazing as well. So that is it for this episode. We will be back on Wednesday with Nutrition Nuggets. Until then, have a fantastic week. Thanks for joining us today on My Wife the Dietitian. If you like what you heard, don't be shy. Leave us a comment or review, and be sure to share our podcast with your friends. If you'd like to hear more, hit that subscribe button. You can also follow us on our social media pages for updates, episode trailers, and other odds and ends. For more info and links on what we discussed on today's episode, check the show notes. We'll be back next week with another informative and fun-filled episode.